Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is October 14th, 2025, and the FIFA virus has claimed yet another Barcelona player. Also, bad news in regards to Raphinha's recovery. And finally, Barcelona have officially presented El Clasico's kit. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that the FIFA international break is officially over. Thank God. And of course, as always, when there's a FIFA international break, I do like to keep track of what Barcelona players are doing. And let's start with Spain, who defeated Bulgaria 4-0, during which Pedri played 68 minutes, which on its own is not bad. 68 minutes, of course, is much better than 90 minutes. But when you take into consideration that he played 74 minutes versus Georgia, well, that becomes a little bit of concern because let's not forget, Barcelona contacted Spain's national team's doctors to inform them that they were worried about Pedri's fatigue. But as always, Luis de la Fuente did not care and still played Pedri both against Georgia and against Bulgaria, which begs the question, do you really need Pedri or even many of your starters against those teams? I mean, there's at least 50 top Spanish players that can play at a high level for the Spanish national team. Maybe not all of them can play against teams like Germany or France or Brazil or Argentina. But you're telling me none of those players can play against Bulgaria or Turkey or Hungary or Georgia? Do you really need to call up the starting 23 all the time or the best 23? Or maybe if you don't want to call up other players who you don't usually call up, do you really have to start your starters all the time? Can't you maybe give minutes to some of the bench players so they could get some playing time, they can get some experience? Like, do you really need Pedri against Bulgaria and Georgia, with all due respect to those countries? I don't know. Anyways, Pau Cubarsí did play 0 minutes against Bulgaria, so that's, of course, great news. But he did play 90 minutes versus Georgia, but I guess 90 minutes out of 180 is better than 180 out of 180. And finally, Ferran Torres, of course, who is back in Barcelona because he felt some discomfort. He also didn't play, but he did play 90 minutes versus Georgia. So again, I guess 90 minutes out of 180 is better than 180 out of 180, because if it was up to Luis de la Fuente, he would have Barcelona players playing every single minute of every single match. Now, on to the next team, which is England, because England defeated Latvia 5-0, where Marcus Rashford played 19 minutes only. That's, of course, good news for us. And he also played 45 minutes in England's victory over Wales 3-0. So pretty good minutes for Marcus Rashford. 45 and 19, that's good for us. Maybe not for him. Maybe he wants to play more against with his national team. But for us, that, of course, is wonderful. And then we move on to France, who drew 2-2 against Iceland, where Jules Koundé did play the full 90 minutes. Not great, but he did not play in France's victory over Azerbaijan 3-0. So again, like Cubarsí, like Ferran, I guess 90 minutes out of 180 is much better than 180 out of 180. And then we move on to the Netherlands, where they defeated Finland 4-0 and where Frenkie de Jong played 90 minutes. Not too happy about that. And then he had also already played 67 minutes against Malta in Netherlands' victory over Malta 0-4. So not great there. Lots of minutes for Frenkie de Jong. Then we move on to Denmark, who defeated Greece 3-1, where Andreas Christensen played 90 minutes as a right back. Yes, you heard that correctly, as a right back. He had also played 90 minutes in Denmark's victory over Belarus 6-0, so that's 180 out of 180 minutes for Andreas Christensen. Not too happy about that either. But of course, given that Christensen has not been playing too much with the first team, I guess it's not too bad because, he's not going to be as fatigued as, let's say, Pedri, who does play every match with Barcelona. Then we move on to Sweden, who lost to Kosovo 0-1. They're officially out of the World Cup. They're not going to be playing in the World Cup, which means Rooney Bardghji will not be playing in the World Cup. He played 45 minutes against Kosovo and 11 minutes against Switzerland, where Sweden also lost against them. So not too bad. Pretty good minutes for Rooney Bardghji. And finally, Poland, who defeated Lithuania 2-0 and where Lewandowski played the entire 90 minutes. Now, he didn't play against New Zealand, where Poland defeated New Zealand 1-0, but he did play the full 90 minutes against Lithuania. And this is where FIFA virus claimed yet another victim, because they had already claimed Lamine Yamal during the first FIFA international break. They claimed Olmo this FIFA international break. Ferran Torres, not an injury, but nonetheless, he returned to Barcelona with discomfort. But now Robert Lewandowski has been injured, and Barcelona have officially announced this through their social media accounts with the following statement. Robert Lewandowski has suffered a muscle tear in the biceps femoris of his left thigh. His recovery time will depend on how the injury evolves. So Lewandowski, ladies and gentlemen, has been injured, which means that he will most likely miss El Clasico match. Of course, Barcelona has not given an exact timeline, but an injury like this, it's expected 3 to 4 weeks, depending on the player. So it looks like Lewy will also be out of El Clasico match. Now, more bad news. And this one is in regards to Coutinho, because Raphinha was expected to be ready for the match against Girona, just like Fermín López and Lamine Yamal, with hopes that he would get some minutes against Girona, some minutes against Olympiacos in the Champions League, and then finally he could be ready for a Clasico match against Real Madrid. But it looks like that's not going to happen, because Raphinha has had some delays in his recovery. In fact, he has yet to train with the group, and today, once again, he did not train with the group. He only trained at the gym and then went home. And with that match against Girona right around the corner in 4 days or 3 days, it looks like Raphinha will not be fit for the Girona match. We'll see if he'll be fit against Olympiacos in the Champions League. Either way, this definitely affects Barcelona's plan to have Raphinha, Lamine, and Fermín play some minutes against Girona, play more minutes against Olympiacos, and then be ready to play the full 90 against Real Madrid. Now, of course, this doesn't affect Lamine and Fermín. They are fit, which is great news. But Raphinha, and when you add to it the injury of Lewandowski, not looking good as far as injuries. But of course, I do trust that this team will still be able to pull through. So Raphinha, please, my man, recover sooner rather than later. Now, speaking of El Clasico match, Barcelona have officially unveiled the kit that Barcelona will wear against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. And this confirms the news that I have brought to you, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, which is that Ed Sheeran is Barcelona's partner for this match. So his logo, or his upcoming album's logo, that play button and the word play, will appear on the Barcelona kit in place of the Spotify logo. This is, of course, as part of the partnership between Barcelona and Spotify, where every El Clasico match, they replace the Spotify logo with an artist's logo. We've seen the likes of Rolling Stones, Coldplay, Drake, Rosalia, I think Karol G, if I'm not mistaken. And now it will be Ed Sheeran, which I have to say I am very, very, very happy with the sponsorship. Very, very happy with this partnerships with artists during the Clasico match. You know, we talk about how Laporta has done great things and he's also done bad things, but this sponsorships, Laporta is absolutely undefeated. Not only has he set a record for most sponsorship signs, plus 30, maybe we're at 40 already, but he's also set a record for most money generated from sponsorships. But not just that, the sponsorship with Spotify, I think, to me, is an absolute win. To be able to combine two of the biggest entertainment worlds, music and sports, together through this sponsorship, I think it's absolutely amazing. Not only does it generate Barcelona a lot of money, because Spotify pays Barcelona a lot of money. Also, Barcelona make these special edition kits, which also generates them a lot of money. But it also, of course, grows the Barcelona brand, because you're getting superstars, world star artists partnering up with Barcelona, which, by the way, if it wasn't for the sponsorship, if Barcelona wanted to partner up with Ed Sheeran and have him wear Barcelona's kit and go to the match and take pictures and make videos, they would have to pay him a lot of money to do that. But thanks to the sponsorship with Spotify, they're actually paying us money to partner up with these superstars. So, absolute win, this sponsorship with Spotify. And again, when it comes to great things that Laporta and his board have done, the sponsorships area, I think they remain absolutely undefeated. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this kit. Are you going to be buying it? Yes, no? Let me know down below in the comment section. I will be uploading another video, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Biscarsa.